Hey guys, welcome to the third video of the cryptocurrency series brought to you by Trademanza. In today's video, we are going to understand about proof of work. If you guys haven't seen the previous videos, please go and watch to understand this even better. So before we start, we'll quickly recap what we have already studied. So what are miners? Miners are nothing but people who validate the transaction on the blockchain. They try to find the nonce. Nonce is nothing but the first four digit nonce is the number which makes the first four digit of the hash as zero, and the hash of a block is always unique. It's like the fingerprint or the identity of the block, and miners are very important. They are the reason why a block is added onto the blockchain. If you have a better computer, you can mine better because it finding nonce is putting each and every number and trying out the all possibilities, and it's brute force. So a better computer means better mining, and miners in return get reward, and the reward is in terms like Bitcoin. If you mine a Bitcoin block, you get a Bitcoin. If you mine a Dogecoin block, you get Dogecoin. If you mine a Ethereum block, you get Ethereum in return. The Bitcoin block rewards half every 210,000 blocks. So the reward is always becoming less and less. So these are some of the minor, they're usually in cold places because, as I told, they try to put each and every number. So it requires a lot of computers, a lot of computational powers, and which consumes a lot of electricity, a lot of heat is produced. So mining is likely done in all Nordic countries like Norway, where the temperature is pretty cold, so that to cool down the system. This is one of the mining plants. If you look, there are so many computers just jammed together to get a faster and faster computation. This is one of the mining plant in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan, even though it's a not so rich country, has a lot of mining plants because of the fact that a lot of people look it as a source to generate revenue, because in return you get a lot of bitcoins. Okay, so now we are going to understand about proof of work and what exactly proof of work is. And let's just say we have three miners here. We have Jerry, we have Doraemon, and we have Mickey Mouse, and they are all trying to find the nonce. They are all putting their computers are trying to find the number which is making the first four digit of the hashes as zero. So they are all finding nonce, and let's just say we have Doraemon who found the nonce first. Now what Doraemon will do after he finds the nonce? He will send it to both Jerry and Mickey Mouse. Let's just say he found 10 as the nonce. Now he'll send 10 to Jerry, he'll send 10 to Mickey Mouse, and then they will put the number 10 in their system, and they will check that yes, this is a nonce. Then they will agree that the block will be verified. So verification is done, and then the block is added to the blockchain. Again, Doraemon over here has found the nonce. He then sends to all the other miners, which is nothing but Jerry and Mickey Mouse. They put in their system that the nonce which Doraemon sent is correct. Yes, it is correct. Then the verification is done. No, if it is wrong, then it's the process restarts. Everything revolves around consensus. So one person, let's just say this gentleman right here, found the nonce. Then he'll send to each and every person in the blockchain. He has sent it to here, and over here more than 50% of the people have agreed that the nonce is correct. Like 1, 2, 3, and then two of them have agreed that no, it's not correct. The nonce is wrong. But since majority of them have agreed, then because of this consensus algorithm, the block will be added in the blockchain. Now some of the cryptos which use proof of work algorithm. We have Bitcoin, we have Ethereum. The two biggest cryptocurrencies use proof of work algorithm, and the time to generate one block is around 10 minutes in Bitcoin and around 14 seconds in Ethereum. Dogecoin has around 60 seconds, while Litecoin has around 2.5 minutes. Litecoin is nothing but an alternate to Bitcoin. It's a fork of Bitcoin. We're going to understand about forking later on, but in hindsight, like all these codes, Bitcoin, Ethereum, these codes are open source. So what they do is that they just copy the code and they make certain modification, and that is nothing but forking. But we'll understand it in a much higher detail in the next video. So Bitcoin takes around 10 minutes, Litecoin takes around 2.5 minutes. They are fork of each other. Now Bitcoin Cash is also a fork of Bitcoin, and it takes around 10 minutes again. Ethereum Classic is a fork of Ethereum. Monero, which is a privacy coin or a hush coin, it is like since all the transaction in Bitcoin are visible, like each and every transaction. In Monero the transactions are not visible, so it's called a privacy coin. It takes around 2 minutes. We have other crypto like Zcash or Dash, which also take around 2.5 to around 2.6 minutes. So these are some of the top cryptos with the highest market capitalization who use the proof of work algorithm. Now, these proof of work cryptos use a lot of energy. They consume a lot of energy. If you look at Bitcoin, you look at Ethereum, you look at Monero, because they are trying to find out nonce. They are trying to they are trying to find out each and every possibility, which is making the hash, the first four digit of the hash is a zero. So they require a lot of computers. A lot of energy is consumed. So if you look at the Bitcoin energy consumption in July 2017, it was around 10 terawatt, but right now in January 2022 it's around 200 terawatt, which is a huge number. If you look, it has increased by more than 20 times, around 20 times it has increased. Now the carbon, this is a single Bitcoin transaction. A single Bitcoin transaction consumes around 1072 kg worth of carbon dioxide and electrical energy of around 2057 kilowatt, which is a huge number, which is equivalent to the to the power consumption of an average US household for over 77.37 days. This is just a single Bitcoin transaction. So you can imagine how much energy it's consumed. That is the reason why it is there are many critics who say bad things about Bitcoin, because the amount of energy it consumes is a lot, and many environmentalists which are going ham against Bitcoin. Now the electronic waste is around 307.30 grams. This is just for a single Bitcoin transaction. Now the Bitcoin algorithm is such that it takes one block. The one block takes around 10 minutes. So that's the approximate time. That's how the Bitcoin algorithm is coded. And what the Bitcoin algorithm does is that, let's just say, over like 14-day period, it will check. Like, let's just say if the average time over 14 days has increased from 10 minutes to, let's just say, it is taking 15 minutes to mine one block, then what the algorithm will do is that it will make it easier for the to get it mined. While let's just say after 14 days the average time is around 7 minutes, then the Bitcoin algorithm will make it a little harder to get it mined. So that's how the Bitcoin algorithm tries to maintain 10 minutes of block time. It always tries to do this. Now the last Bitcoin which will be blocked in the year 2140, and 19 million Bitcoins have already been mined. Just 2 million Bitcoins are remaining right now, and so most of them are pretty much 80% of them are mined, but it's fine. It's all based on supply and demand. Now we'll learn about some transaction fees. So all transaction fees are collected by miners, because obviously miners are putting the block in the blockchain. They are using a lot of electricity, a lot of energy. So because of that, they are collecting some sort of they collect some sort of transaction fee at time. Now it's volunteer. Let's just say I'm doing a transaction on Bitcoin and I pay them $10. Now they don't necessarily need to accept, miners don't necessarily need to accept my transaction request. But let's just say if I, instead of $0, let's just say I try to put $0, then obviously it's a loss of miners, because they are doing all this work and they are not getting not even a little bit in return. But let's just say if I put $100 as a transaction fees, then obviously the miners will be ready to take my transaction because they are getting something in the return. So that's how transaction fees are. They are not compulsory, but let's just say no miners need to accept the transaction also. So if you put some sort of transaction fee, it is good. Now if you look at the transaction fees, if you look at the average transaction fee right now, it's around 3 to 4 USD. It peaked in April. It was around 65 to 63 USD, which is huge. So right now it's stable from last few months, which is a good thing. Now what is hash rate? Hash rate is nothing but the speed of mining, which is nothing but the number of hashes it checks divided by second. So let's just say it is checking 1000 hashes in second, then then the hash rate is 1000. If it's checking 1 million hashes in second, then the hash rate is 1 million. So it's measured in kilo, which is nothing but 1000, mega, giga 1 billion, and tera is 1 trillion. Now these are some of the Bitcoin mining machines which you can purchase. Anyone can purchase. So if you look here, it's a Bitmain Antminer, and the speed is 110 tera hashes per second. So it is doing 110 trillion hashes in a second, and the cost is around $10,700. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, please like and subscribe, and follow us to watch more such videos.